Hey everybody, in this video I want to go over Module 4 items, and when I'm done, this video will go right here under Overview. Now before I get to any of this stuff, I want to talk about a couple of things. First one is, if I didn't already mention this in earlier videos this spring 2024, let me do this now. This is the first time that I am teaching this class at Athens State University as part of the new Bachelor of Science in Marketing and Analytics degree program, also new for the spring 2024 semester. Now, I'm not 100% sure when the last time this course was offered, but it had been removed from the lineup for the marketing certificate or also the marketing minor. So this class hasn't been taught in at least 3 or 4 years, maybe more. So this is the first time. And yes, I gave you a syllabus with my ideas on what I want to do this semester. And I have a pretty good idea of what those are. But as the semester is rolling along, it's still being built in Canvas because all these things are still ideas elsewhere. Like I have it in a Word document or in my notes somewhere. So I still need to create them. And that's something that I'm also scheduling on top of everything else. That's what I'm trying to get at. So, yeah, right. I don't just have consumer behavior going on, I have 4 other classes. And then for the last few weeks, I've had other stuff going on that I'm doing for the university. So it's always just a matter of, okay, it's time to start module 4. So I really need to put this together. So that's kind of what's going on is, let's see, the way this has been put before, we're building the airplane as we're flying. So that's kind of what we have going on here. And so, in many ways, yeah, these different pieces are like finally coming to you as I'm building them on Canvas. But again, I already have the ideas. It's just it needs to be on Canvas for it to be useful to you. So there's that. And then the second part is, as part of building this course, I look back at earlier modules because I want this course to be ready for the next time, which will be fall 2024. But yeah, I was looking and I realized that I did not include a couple of items. So let me go to modules. So if you go to module 2 and also module 3, I added new items in the course materials page. So I included, if you wanted to have them for your files, I included the PowerPoint files that our textbook provides along with the reading. So there's chapter 1, 2, and 3 for module 2. And then for module 3, there's the course materials page, and then the PowerPoints for chapters 4, 5, and 6. So that's that part. And then the last part I want to mention, well, actually, that's related to module 4 stuff. So no, let's go to that. So we have our module 4 course materials page, and there are those PowerPoint files there now, ready to go. Chapter 7, 8, and 9. And then, as I mentioned in my feedback on your creative appeals project submissions, where I asked for an APA format paper, well, I mentioned that I wanted to give you a little more direction regarding that. So here it is right here. I didn't want to have to recreate certain videos since a lot of the things that I mentioned in these videos that I provided cover the whole idea of APA. Well, here's the thing, these are for my marketing principles classes, but again, it has most of the information I want to talk about. So please just disregard anything that is specific to the marketing principles class and just focus on the main takeaways. And then, just like the previous module, I provided videos related to the topics covered in the chapter readings. And then now we have our assignment here, the Hershey Brand Plus Planner assignment. But let me go back to that. Let me talk about test 3 first. So here's the thing about test 3. It covers chapters 6 to 9. Well, if you look, right, module 4 is about chapters 7 to 9. Well, here's what happened. As part of this whole building the airplane as we're flying, well, I failed to notice that your test 2 did not include chapter 6. So I'm including it as part of test 3. And then there's discussion 4. It'll be set up just like discussion 3, where you have question prompts related to your chapter readings. And so you will answer those. There's an initial post date and then a reply component due at a different time. Now that brings me to the last item in our module 4, which is this Hershey Brand Plus Planner assignment. So recall that our previous assignment was the Creative Appeals project, where it had parts 1, 2, and 3. So let me show you that real quick in another tab. So there's part 1, there's part 2, and part 3. So now, continuing with these different parts, numbers, you'll see that we are starting with part 4, and then there's part 5, and then part 6. So 3 additional parts. So I wanted to point that part out in case when you read the instructions, you're like, okay, it says part 4. Where's part 1, part 2, and part 3? So that's what's going on there. I wanted to continue this because all these things that you're doing as a group relate to the final or one of your assignments that will be your here, let me show you. It all leads to this Hershey project final pitch. So what you're doing in your creative appeals project, your Hershey brand planner, this current one I'm talking about, and then I actually got these two flipped backwards, but I didn't want to mess with your syllabi or your syllabus in case you've already downloaded it. But yeah, then your next step would be your product extension idea and then your multi-attribute model, because you're doing research right now on your assigned brand. And once you're a little more familiar with it and it's got all the different components, right? You learned about the target customer perception, and then you even practice on creating a promotion. Well, for this assignment, I have instructions on what else you'll be doing, right? You got learning and motivation, self, values, and lifestyle. And then there's the actual planner part. And then there's part 7, the purchase process, retail execution. So all of that stuff leads to learning more about your brand and then coming up with a product extension idea where you will create or propose a new product line extension for your brand. So more details will be provided about that when when I finally make this Hershey product extension idea assignment available. So for now, I just want you to focus on completing the next task, which is this assignment, which again has this part, and then the planner. So that's kind of what's going on there. So what I would say is there's a lot of information on here. So go ahead and read through this entire thing at least 3 times for clarity and understanding. First time, you'll be like, okay. Second time, you might catch things that you didn't catch the first time. And then by the third time, you're going to start having a really good idea of all the different moving parts for this assignment and the future assignment. So, part 4, part 5 are pretty straightforward. It will be writing in APA format. You'll put that in a Word document just like you did the other. So, it'll be a whole separate assignment at this point, a separate Word document. And then this planner, well, the instructions for this include links to this Hershey project final pitch. So remember what I said at the beginning of this video where I'm still building the different parts, but I have them living in different places like a Word document? Well, here are the instructions for that final project, essentially what you're building up to. So if you click on that, that will take you to the instructions for this. And I gave you a rubric that you can take a look at to see how you will be graded on this assessment. So 200 points. And then here's also a, so for this, you're proposing a new product, you will create a PowerPoint slide that will support the information, for you to show, but then you will also record yourself, your group, in a 3-minute pitch talking about that product. So this sample that I give you here, the link to that, that's only for the PowerPoint file. So I put on here that for the video portion, you can use Yuja for that, or that's my recommendation. So if you recall from our introduction discussion that I had you potentially practice on using Yuja to create your introduction video. But if you didn't, the instructions are there on how to use that. So here's a PowerPoint example from another group at a different university where I covered this class, this same project. So that's where that's coming from. Because remember, I said, well, this is the first time it's being offered at Athens State. So yes, that part is true. This is from another university where I came from. Okay, so that's that part, the instructions part, looking ahead, so you know what is going on in my head as far as what I want us to do for this whole entire Hershey experience for this semester. And then I gave you a link to the planner part because there are so many parts to this. I wanted for you all to start thinking about how to get organized. So you already did a group collaboration plan from a previous module. Well, now I'm giving you another document to help with that. So I put on here that you will just do these parts. So you'll give me your group name, and then I don't think I put Hershey product. Yep, I didn't because we're not there yet. And then put your names on there. Phone number is optional. Email, and then primary method of communication. So, right, that should sound familiar because that was part of your group collaboration plan. Then I have you skipping project responsibilities for now. And then the general agreement section where you give me a summary of what you agreed as far as a group, as far as how you're going to work together. And then looking ahead, I will ask you in future assignments when we get to that point to organize your responsibilities to where you'll tell me how you think you're going to divide the tasks of completing these different components related to the product extension idea assignment, the multi-attribute model assignment, and then eventually your Hershey, I couldn't think of what I call this, Hershey final pitch project. So that's this part. Now, again, there are a lot of moving parts to what we're working on, and I created this video to explain all those different pieces, and then we have all this text right here. So I encourage you to watch this video more than once, read the instructions more than once, and then reach out to me if you have any questions. So that's what I have for module 4. Happy researching.